Creature pushes the back end of Flex Force off the track and sets up the ramp. This season of Junkyard Joust, there's been a lot of talk about the new deadliness of Creature from the Black Lagoon. During the qualifier, vehicle after vehicle met its demise off the back of Creature. Now it's the main event, and it's up to Massive Transit, our second place team from last season, and 8 other teams to try to stop it. Hi everybody, welcome to the Junkyard Joust. I'm Aaron Yonda, and strap in and get ready. This is gonna be a wild one. No new teams competing in this match. All these teams have been around at least for one season, some of them many more than that. Let's take a closer look. The Alabaster Aces had a rough qualifier and they rely heavily on Shadow Jet. They are ranked 27. The Aquaturks have a good mix of vehicles. They are ranked 18. Ranked 15 is the Crimson Crashers, who boast some undercutting power and some big heavy vehicles. Ranked 29, it's Distinguished Competition. Shazam, the only returning member from last season. Emerald Undercurrent, ranked 19, got a brand new lineup, except for, of course, Lamelt. Graveyard Smash has got some muscle, and they've got Creature from the Black Lagoon, ranked 21. Massive Transit was our second place team from last season, and they swapped one vehicle out. It's the Rad Rider Rig, which replaces the Ford. Prototypical is back with some low-slung vehicles, ranked 11. The Shredheads are ranked 28, and they've got some high-flying cars. Sunshades ranked number 7, they've got some good survivability. And those are all the teams. Now it's time to joust. Round 1, Prototypical is going to start us off with the Sauber Mercedes C9, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. The Mercedes speeds into place. No teams have a bonus action in this match. Kind of unusual. Next up, it's the Fleet Flyer with Secret Weapon for Crimson, sponsored by Mark the Music Lover. Fleet Flyer smashes into place, destroys the Mercedes, tosses it over sideways, eliminates it, and releases the secret weapon. Good start for Crimson, and now there's a ramp. Emerald gonna brave that ramp with the MIG rig. Ooh, I didn't even notice, but Barb was in the back of the MIG rig as it spins and flies all the way down to the end of the track. Makes a great recovery. Could have got caught up very easily. And Barb, not so much of a recovery there. All in Class first up for Transit, sponsored by Chone. All in Class leaps off the ramp, flies up and hits the crates, goes sideways right next to Evil Weevil. Nice landing, hits a 7 on the way there, wow, and still manages to make a recovery. So far, Massive Transit handling the ramp just fine. First up for Shredheads, Rally Speciale, sponsored by DYW Production Labs. Rally Speciale, nice tumbling recovery there. Lots of flipping and flopping, and a great landing right over the top of Barb on the way. Nice. Alabaster Ace is starting off with Evil Knievel, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. Quite the stunt by Evil Knievel, flipping all the way up to the front, unfortunately, and not a successful recovery. Kind of hung up on Evil Weevil there. Bounds over the top of Fleet Flyer and then turns over sideways. Might not have worked, but it sure looked cool. Harley Quinn for DC, sponsored by Bentley's Brakes and Bumpers. Harley Quinn tumbles off the ramp and slides down Holland Class all the way to a recovery. Good start for DC. PD and Cookie taking Track Tune down for the Sunshade, sponsored by Sean and Patrick Hogan. Babies go flying all over the place as Track Tune tumbles to an upside down position. Wow, that is a rough start for the Sunshades. Cookie over there and PD over there, looks like they're fine. Both of them pretty tough babies, but unfortunately Track Tune is out and they won't be going down again today. VWT1 panel bus for the Aquaturks, sponsored by Sicken. The panel bus is low enough to not take this ramp, and it scoots it back inside the Fleet Flyer, where if it stays there, they'll be able to use it again next round, assuming that Fleet Flyer survives. First up for Graveyard Smash, they're gonna send down Big Mother, sponsored by Mark the Music Lover. Big Mother slams into the line, and it is relatively solid, shakes it up a little bit. Evil Knievel slides down, maybe to a recovery? The back of Big Mother now, maybe a ramp? The Mazda 787B for Prototypical, sponsored by Dr. Gonzo. The Mazda's very low to the ground, but it still kind of bounces around and almost goes off the back of Big Mother. Manages to survive it though, and slots in behind. Another low to the ground car, the Porsche 917 LH, sponsored by Moo Cow Horse Farm. Ooh, an undercut and a nice takedown of the Mazda there by Crimson. And that's 2 down for Prototypical, not good news for them. Tail Dragger's up for Emerald Undercurrent, sponsored by Mark the Music Lover. Tail Dragger slams into place, knocks 2 cars off the track. Looks like the back bumper of Big Mother got broken off completely, severed from the car. No eliminations on that hit, but some damage. And now a big one's coming down, 151 gram Trash Basher, sponsored by Sicken. Boom! Tail Dragger annihilated by Trash Basher. What a hit. Socked it down into the crates. That was a nasty elimination. Tough car to eliminate, but when you're hit by a vehicle that big, not much you can do. Rollin' Solo for the Shredhead, sponsored by Jedi. Rollin' Solo pops the rear end of Trash Basher up in the air, starts to remove it from the track, prying it off, tire by tire. The Greyhound MC 801 grams here, sponsored by Jason's Bits Boys. Greyhound slams into the field and Trash Basher, big vehicle tossed over sideways and out. Rollin' Solo makes a great recovery, skittering all the way over by Tail Dragger. And the Greyhound, after that big hit, takes itself out potentially. The Phantom, sponsored by Reaper EOD. Phantom slams into place. The line is tight. Locks it in. Dodge Viper now for the Sunshade, sponsored by Mark the Music Lover, of course. Mark the Music Lover, a lot of his random sponsored picks getting into this main event. And a chunk of debris or something flew off there. 69 Corvette for the Turks, sponsored by Ripash. Corvette slams into the line and does a great job of taking down the Phantom. Can't quite take the Viper out. Nice solid hit for the Aqua Turks. Here comes Wolfman for Graveyard, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Wolfman tosses the Viper off the track, and that's going to be yet another elimination for Sunshades. They are not doing great right now. The Corvette manages to stay alive for the moment on top of the Wolfman, and that Greyhound is definitely out. The Pagani's onto R, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. The Pagani slams into Wolfman, nowhere to go. A minor disturbance on the track, but nothing else. Looking for a bigger disturbance, here it is. Double Decker, 278 grams, sponsored by Chome with the Klingon on board. The Double Decker pressures Wolfman off the track. A lot of action there, no eliminations though. Trash Basher kind of blocking the slow-mo cam. There you can see exactly what happened. Basically not much. A nice hit, but no eliminations for Crimson. 71 De Tomaso Mangusta, sponsored by Chome. De Tomaso hits the wall. Man, that is going to damage that extremely valuable vehicle. Oh well, eliminates Wolfman on that hit. Just a little push was all it took. And Graveyard loses their rock. Aeroblast for Transit, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. Aeroblast just massacres the Mangusta, and the Klingon gets punched off the bus by it. And yeah, that car is not going to be worth anything now, but it survived, and that's important. Group C Fantasy for the Shredhead, sponsored by Emo Dingo. Group C blasts into Aeroblast, can't really move it much, just a little sliding down the track. And we're on to Quarter Mile Coupe for the Aces, sponsored by Hendrico's Heavy Holland. A nice undercut on Group C Fantasy, but look at that recovery for the Shredhead, sliding down the back of the rig and then flipping over to a great recovery. Mangusta makes a full recovery as well. Shazam, sponsored by Chorgoth the Infinite Horror. Shazam shovels Quarter Mile Coupe off the track. Nice undercut there, and that car is done for the Aces. Aeroblast hanging on for the moment. Ford Aerostar, sponsored by Sean's Toy Room. The Aerostar tries to push Shazam all the way under Aeroblast, can get it about halfway. Aeroblast is teetering. This could be bad for Transit. Maybe the 73 Volvo 142 GL can finish it off, sponsored by Bentley's Brakes and Bumpers. And the Ford Aerostar, which was way back down the track, gets pushed all the way up to the front, and the Aeroblast goes over. And another one bites the dust for Massive Transit. 118 gram 57 Bel Air for the Smash, sponsored by Pick Your Sticker. An impossible force to stop. The Bel Air plunges into the line. Shazam and the Aerostar pushed up. The Aerostar goes over. Shazam at the moment recovered. We'll see how this plays out. Next up, the Pagani Zonda R, sponsored by Judy Collins. Shazam and the Aerostar both tossed off the track by the Pagani, and they both make a remarkable recovery. Look at the Ford Aerostar. That did not look promising at all. Kind of spins over. Wow, I am impressed by that. Solaire now, the Assassin, sponsored by Brendan Walsh. The Assassin tries to take down that Pagani, but look at this move. Flips over, spins around, gets off the track to safety, keeps prototypical going. No assassination this time. Another fearsome vehicle on the track, Lamelt, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Lamelt tosses Solaire over. Wow, a veteran taking down another veteran, and Crimson loses out on that hit, if it stays like that. The new guy for Massive Transit, Red Rider Rig, 95 grams coming down. Red Rider Rig tries to annihilate Lamelt, and did it work? I don't actually know. Solaire did not make a recovery. Red Rider Rig goes off the track. Lamelt hits a 6. You don't see that very often. And Lamelt tumbles over into the corner. And what was the final result? In. Lamelt makes a recovery over by Baby Cookie. Wow. Close one for Emerald right there. But an amazing recovery by Lamelt. Turbine Sublime for the Shredhead, sponsored by Chorgoth. Turbine Sublime hits the back of the Red Rider Rig, tosses it more off the track. No harm there. Turbine goes back a little bit. Shadowjet 2 for the Aces, sponsored by Bentley's Brakes and Bumpers. Shadowjet takes down Turbine Sublime, tossing it up in the air. It flips over off the back of Red Rider Rig and goes out, probably out for good. We'll see. Plastic Man truck now for DC, sponsored by Miskatonic Automotive Club. Plastic Man knocks Shadowjet off the track just about completely, but not quite. And now Shadowjet kind of in a vulnerable position. Plastic Man handling the back of that vehicle rather well. T-Bird Stalker, sponsored by Tribble's Troublemakers. T-Bird Stalker pushes Plastic Man past Shadowjet, and yep, it was vulnerable. And now it's sideways. Alabaster in big trouble. That is the car they need to survive. Customized VW drag truck, sponsored by Pick Your Sticker. VW drag truck, wow, nice takedown there. Plastic Man and the Stalker both annihilated, thrown off the track left and right. What a hit from Aquaturks, that was good offense. And Graveyard Smash sensing now is the time to strike. Creature's coming down, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Creature slams into the back, the nice solid back of the VW, and look what we got here. It's a ramp, and it's a nice low to the ground ramp. Can Prototypical stop the ramp? Pagani Huayra R will give it a shot, sponsored by Bentley's Brakes and Bumpers. No one can stop this jump, it's too low. The Pagani smashes into the double-decker, flips over and goes over. Wow, almost knocks Mr. Bean and Troy off the car, but just a little jostling right there. Shoves it aside, eliminated. Tough car to lose for Prototypical. Lamborghini Veneno for the Crashers, sponsored by Emo Dingo. The Lamborghini takes that jump, no luck there either, hits the back of the double-decker yet again, and cannot make a recovery all the way over in the corner. Done. Look at that jump, wow. That's 2 down for Creature. Lola GT70 next up, sponsored by Farty Marty. Off the ramp, over the top of the double-decker, and all the way down to the end. I don't even know what else it hit. Went out of camera shot, but it landed upside down. A third elimination for Creature. Creature is 3 for 3 right now. Can Speed Blaster dislodge the ramp? Sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Speed Blaster hits that bus too, goes up the ramp. Wow, I've never seen Speed Blaster fly that high, and it does not end well. It does not like being up at a level 7 at all, and it just crumples over in the corner. Speed Blaster out of the match, a champion vehicle. Oof, that's a big loss for Massive Transit. Creature devastating. Spinebuster now, sponsored by Farty Marty. Spinebuster does what every car has done since Creature took to the track, skitters atop the top of the double-decker, and ends up over in the corner, doomed and done. That is 5 eliminations in a row, and I'd like to introduce a new thing here at Junkyard Joust. It's a Rampage. This is absolute domination here by Creature. Will it continue with Machine Hayabusa for the Aces, sponsored by Hazel Keaton? Hayabusa, I don't even know where Hayabusa went. Somewhere over in that pile, and it didn't look good to me. Nope, that's another elimination. Wow, Cookie is the center of all of these ramped cars. And that's 6 eliminations, and we call that a
6 termination.
Black Manta's gonna try it next, sponsored by Judy Collins. Manta jumps off, goes over, and hides in the stack of cars. That did not look promising either. Nope, that is 7 eliminations, and that we call a
Kilimanjaro.
Can anyone stop this spree by Creature? Power Rocket. Power Rocket surely can stop it. Sponsored by Reaper EOD. And there it is, finally. A vehicle survives Creature from the Black Lagoon. A pretty good landing, a little close there, but it looks like that's gonna be recovery. And finally, the streak has ended. Vicious Vet for the Aquaturk, sponsored by Farty Marty. Vicious Vet takes the jump, couldn't see what the result was, but it misses the bus, and that may have helped it survive. Yeah, it certainly does look like it skipped along all the way down to the end. And if you avoid that bus, it looks like your chances of surviving are better. 63 Cadillac Hearse, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. The hearse takes that jump, actually hits the bus. Did it make a recovery? It looks like it did. It smacks into Speed Blaster. Doesn't help Speed Blaster, but does make a recovery for Graveyard. And that was the final car of round 1 with a possible record number of eliminations, 24 eliminations. And we are losing one entire team just in round 1. Man, that was a rough round, and I don't think it's gonna get any easier. Taking a look at all the eliminated vehicles, there you go. It was Alabaster Aces who are done already in this match. Taking a look at the aftermath, Prototypical and Massive Transit each lost 3. Crimson Emerald and Shredheads each lost 2. Nobody unscathed here, except for the Aquaturks, who somehow did not lose a vehicle. Unbelievable performance. Alabaster completely out. DC and Sunshade lost 3 apiece. Graveyard Smash only lost the Wolfman. BWT1 panel bus starting us off. Aquaturks with an amazing first round. Can they keep it up? As the panel bus slots into place, it helps to get down before Creature from the Black Lagoon, and here we go again. Graveyard Smash taking this opportunity to set that ramp up immediately. And the question is, will we see as much devastation as we did in that first round? I don't even think it's possible, but here we go. Mig-Rig leaps off the ramp, nice swift recovery right there, bounces out of the safety area. Barb goes flying all over the place, has a nice tumble, and the Mig-Rig does a great job of surviving. Rally Speciale speeds off the ramp, goes into the crates, flips around all over the place, and did it make a recovery? We'll find out in a second. Yep, there it is. Complete recovery, nice job there, keeping the Shredheads going. Fleet Flyer takes the ramp and releases the secret weapon out into the grass. It's not gonna hurt anybody out there, and Fleet Flyer is tipping a little bit, but it is right side up. That's what you want. The Pagani Zonda has no choice but to take that ramp, goes up on top of Fleet Flyer, smashes into the crate, spins off to the right, upside down and out, and Prototypical is down to 1. Holland Class flies off Creature and lands in the same spot as last round, sideways against the crates, but unfortunately, there's a giant truck in the way this time. Its back end hits a 7 on the way there, and it settles down right in the middle on top of Fleet Flyer. Wow, that is really strange. I certainly never expected to see this. Harley Quinn has success with the ramp this time yet again, makes a nice recovery. Distinguished Competition feeling good about that. Lands right on top of Barb, wow. The Ford Aerostar goes nuts, flies into Fleet Flyer, almost knocks Holland Class backwards, and probably upside down. Lucky recovery there. And what a great landing by the Ford. Vicious Vet lofts itself up in the air, lands on back of Holland Class, and look at this! Tragedy strikes! Massive Transit has lost one of their best. The weight of Vicious Vet pulling it down, turning it over, and ending Holland Class's chance in this match. Meanwhile, Vicious Vet managed to land that and stay right side up. Graveyard sending down the huge Bel Air, and it flips over off the back of Fleet Flyer, goes upside down, eliminates itself, but it's also knocked Fleet Flyer into a very vulnerable position. Perhaps that was Graveyard's goal. Wow, trying to take down Fleet Flyer by sacrificing one of their own guys. Classic matchup there, Lamelt going off the back of Creature and bouncing backwards, making a nice landing. Lamelt has been here before, and so far so good. Safe spot at the moment. Group C Fantasy smashes into the crates and makes a great turnover to a landing. Nudges Fleet Flyer a bit, but not enough to get it off the track. Oh, friendly fire from Crimson Crashers. The Porsche smashes into Fleet Flyer and turns it over sideways and then self-eliminates. That's absolutely devastating for the Crimson Crashers. They are down 2 now, just to the bus. The Pagani Zonda R basically finishes off Fleet Flyer and then kind of makes a landing. It looks like that might be enough to keep Prototypical alive, but barely. The lone survivor for Massive Transit takes the ramp, and Red Rider Rig is upside down. Have we just seen the second place finisher from last season eliminated already in the main event? And there goes Shazam, another elimination for Creature. Shazam just cannot handle that ramp. Not made for that kind of thing. DC still hanging on though with 1. Oh no, there goes Power Rocket. Yet another elimination off the back of Creature, and a somewhat reliable car hits a 6 before it succumbs. Flipping over and out right now, the Ford Aerostar is the only thing keeping Sunshades in this match. The VW drag truck makes an amazing, astounding even recovery, spinning around all over the place, hits a 6 on the height chart, and then goes everywhere, bounces all over, ends up on top of Shazam and makes a recovery. Right now, Aquaturks have not lost a car in this round. Don't forget, they had 5 to start with. Graveyard Smash sends down Big Mother. Big Mother manages to make a nice recovery. Creature not taking out its own teammate. Oh, and Big Mother has turned the VW drag truck over sideways, so that will now be an elimination for Aquaturks. The Mangusta takes a big hit into the crates, almost keeps it together, but then bounces off of its own teammate into the tires, upside down and out. A loss for Emerald. Rolling Solo heads into the crates at high speeds. Look at how many times that thing flipped over before it makes probably a recovery. Right now, actually, maybe not, but we'll see if it manages to get down. Here comes the big one for Crimson, and what is that? It just kind of parked on top of the VW bus and Creature. Wow, could this actually prevent the ramp from working? Or is it going to topple over and Crimson will be out? The Volvo takes a shot at the bus, and it barely manages to stay on top of those 2 cars. That, my friends, is a precarious spot to be in. Graveyard's Cadillac hearse pushes the Volvo into the bus again. The bus hangs on for dear life. It must be those safety grip tires. And the final car of the round, the Corvette for Aquaturks, slams into the line and the bus holds it on. A close call for Crimson and yet another devastating round. 10 of the remaining 26 cars taken out. We're gonna have to do a measurement. It's on Rollin' Solo. Rollin' Solo does not manage the recovery and it's gonna be out. That'll be 11 eliminations, and every single one of those eliminations, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Taking a look at the aftermath, we just lost Massive Transit in the second round of the main event. Crimson loses 2 down to just the bus. Prototypical, Emerald, and Shredheads each lost 1. DC and Sunshades both down to 1. Aquaturks still at 4. Graveyard Smash down to 3 from 4. We've got 8 teams still in this as we head into round 3. Everybody's got to be thinking, are they going to send down Creature again? And my guess would be, yep, there it is. Creature is in position. If it works, don't fix it. Let's see how much damage Creature can do this round. Rally Speciale has been doing pretty good at recovering, keeping Shredheads around. Another good recovery there. Migrig hurls Barb into the fence and then makes a great recovery. Never even flips over, just keeps it level. No eliminations yet, unless you count Barb, who is face down by the fence. And there it is, elimination number 1 is gonna be the Pagani Zonda, and Prototypical is gonna be done. That's gonna be our 3rd team lost. And there you go, team number 4 to get eliminated. It's gonna be Distinguished Competition. Harley Quinn can't quite pull it off this time. Creature has sent another team packing. They will not be seeing the finals. Double Decker does it again, manages to stick itself on top of both of those vehicles, wheels spinning, safety grip tires, keeping it steady. Unfortunately, there are a lot more cars to come down. That Klingon better watch out. Boom, that'll do it. The Aerostar takes down the heavy bus, tilted over sideways. Oh man, the Klingon did not get out of the way, and he's pinned underneath. Klingons are strong now, he'll climb out. The Aerostar went way back down the track, and the Vicious Vet says, oh no you don't, get on out of here. And the Aerostar needed to make that recovery to keep Sunshades alive. Have we just lost a 3rd team in this round? Round 3 proving to be the most deadly so far. Vicious Vet now parked on top of Creature. Big Mother tosses Vicious Vet up in the safety area, and it struggles to make a recovery, but somehow manages to do it. Almost got hooked several times. That's good news for the Aquaturks. Big Mother now parked. Group C Fantasy forces Big Mother on top of the VW and then goes sideways itself. Oh, that's really close to 45. That might be a recovery if it stays like that. And now Big Mother in a tough spot. Lamelt takes a shot at Big Mother and catapults over the top of it and makes a recovery. Wow, that was close. Lamelt has been taking some chances, but has been pulling it off. And Emerald is looking pretty good right now. The Corvette for the Aquaturks not able to pull off the landing this time, and that's gonna be an elimination. Wait a minute, Lamelt gets pulled down by the Corvette on the way there and is sideways. Wow, that could be a devastating elimination for Emerald. Graveyard's Hearse makes the jump, and this must be why they chose this car. It makes another unexpected recovery, landing right next to its teammate and the newly destroyed Lamelt. That means Graveyard Smash hasn't lost a car yet. Volvo slams into the crates, has a bad bounce back, and turns over. Looks like another elimination for Aquaturks. 7 eliminations in the round, and we're gonna lose 4 teams. That's half the teams that were left in this match are now out, will not be going to the finals. There are your 7 eliminations. Let's take a look at the aftermath. Prototypical and Crimson Crashers have been eliminated. Emerald drops down to 1. Shredheads are steady at 2. DC and Sunshades are gone. Aquaturks lost 2 that time. They are down to 2, and Graveyard Smash is now firmly in the lead with 3. Here we go, round 4. Graveyard Smash are not messing around. They're sending down Creature again. Man, this team is back with a vengeance. And immediately the Vicious Vet makes the leap, flips over upside down, still on the track. 1 down. A great move by Rally Speciale, getting off the track, bouncing all over the place, making the recovery. Now it is in safety. Shredheads are gonna be okay, at least for this round. The Mig-Rig, the last remaining survivor for Emerald, makes a fantastic recovery, flipping and spinning, getting off the track. Barb lands on her face as usual, and Emerald stays alive. Barb must really be enjoying the ride because she gets thrown out every time. Big Mother jumps off its teammate, and what just happened? Big Mother spins around, can't make a recovery, stays upside down, and like a spinning blade knocks the Vicious Vet off the track, and it makes a recovery. Big Mother, however, does not. And finally, the panel bus has to take the ramp, has no choice, and it ends just about how you might expect. VW upside down and out. That's going to be a loss for Aquaturks, who somehow are still in this because of that miracle recovery. A leap, a bounce, and a perfect flat landing for Group C Fantasy. And right now it looks like Shredheads might be best equipped to deal with the menace that is Creature. The Cadillac hearse does it again, throwing itself off the jump with reckless abandon, spinning all over the place and landing it like it's not a problem. Wow, a lot of vehicles turning into spinning blades as they fling themselves all over the place off this ramp. A quick round, only 2 eliminations, no teams eliminated, but we're getting down there. Aquaturks go down to 1, Graveyard down to 2, Emerald steady with the MIG rig, and Shredhead steady at 2. Round 5, here we go. Things are getting tense, 4 teams left. Creature just has to eliminate 1 more team, and they are going to the finals. It's been a long time for Graveyard Smash. They've got to be excited. Ooh, luck runs out for Rally Speciale, takes a bad bounce and can't make it back over again. Uh-oh, this could be trouble for Shredheads. Maybe their luck has run out. MIG rig flings Barb into the crates, makes a fantastic recovery as usual. That thing has been knocking it out of the park for Emerald. Wow, Barb got some good height on that fling. I have a feeling Baby Cookie's probably gone higher though. Vicious Vet, ooh, manages to make a recovery this time, spins around, gets caught on the edge of the track and holds it steady, but that is not a great position to be in. Still touching the track. This could be interesting. The Cadillac takes a shot, can't reach the Vet and can't make a recovery, lands sideways, and Creature succeeds in eliminating its final teammate. Now Graveyard Smash down to just 1. Group C Fantasy coming through in the clutch. Look at all the spinning, and yet somehow it flops over right side up. Fantastic agility, and Shredheads will make it to the next round. Before we move on, take a look at that hit again in regular speed. Now you can't really even tell what Group C Fantasy is doing until you get to slow motion. The car is flipping around so fast, you can't even detect it at regular speed. It's not until you see it in slow motion that you really see what's going on there. It's kind of amazing. Well, every team that had 2 cars is now down to 1 with the 2 eliminations in that round. All 4 teams still in it though, but everybody is down to 1. And now that all the teams are down to 1, the random running order could shake things up a little bit. Round 6, here we go. Running order is gonna be Emerald up first, Creature not coming down until 3rd. That means Aquaturks are the only ones who are gonna have to take the ramp, and that is bad news for them. Group C Fantasy tries a takedown on MIG rig, but MIG rig is not having it, and now Group C Fantasy is sideways and not in a great position. That may have backfired. We'll see what happens when Creature comes down. Creature pops down to the end, sets up the ramp, and throws Evil Weevil over on top of Group C Fantasy. Evil Weevil's like, let's go for a ride. I'm ready to get out of here. All right, this is it. Vicious Vet has to survive or Aquaturks don't make it to the finals. Full steam ahead into the crates. Vicious Vet takes a bounce and doesn't make the recovery. Flips over upside down and ends Aquaturk's chances to make it to the finals. Wow, it was close, and they did so well, starting off with 5, never getting eliminated in that first round. But that is gonna do it. We've got our 3 teams, and with the elimination of Vicious Vet, the match will come to an end. And there are your point totals. Aquaturks actually had more points than Emerald Undercurrent, but they couldn't hold on. And so moving on to the finals, it's going to be Emerald Undercurrent, Shredheads, and Graveyard Smash. Here's all your teams bound for the finals right now. And if you're those other teams, you've got to be thinking, how am I going to survive that devastating ramp of Creature from the Black Lagoon? We've got one more main event. Copperhead's coming back for that one. That'll be in a couple weeks. We've got 2 more custom matches coming up the next couple of Sundays. Thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks to my patrons for supporting this show. Couldn't do it without you. Cheers, everybody. See you next time.